It is extremely important that you never forget this one body part when you are on the rower. And that is your feet. Technically, I guess that's two body parts. I'm Shane Farmer, this is Dark Horse Rowing, and today we're gonna learn about how your feet are the access point to unlocking new power in your stroke. Your feet play a surprisingly important role in the stroke for a number of different reasons. And today, I want to make sure that we get to that quickly so that you can get using your feet more effectively on the machine. So real quickly, what do the feet do for you? Well, they're your attachment point, but so much more important than that, they dictate your approach angle, your catch angle, your drive angle. How you are actually pushing through them is a big determinant of what kind of force you're going to be able to drive and what muscles you can recruit. And they can also be a linchpin if you're in a workout that has multiple rounds or you need to get on and off the machine. So let's tackle all of those and make sure that you're doing it right. These are 5 simple steps that you can do to fix your feet on the machine and make sure you're using them right. First and foremost, how do you adjust these things and what is right? Because that's a critical first step. Number 1, making sure that when you are connected to the machine, you're connected properly. Well, that part's easy. You're going to set these guys so you can move them up or down, and this goes for any machine, so that the strap runs across the widest part of your foot. You can think like bottom shoelace is a good target, but just that wide, meaty part of your foot, that's where you want the strap to run. For me, that's a 4 on a Concept 2. I make sure they're adjusted. Then when I tie in, I make sure those straps are nice and tight and snug. That is step number 1. Make sure you tackle that before you go and do anything else. Number 2 is don't lift your heels. Now let me take a step back from that and explain why. The majority of errors that you find in somebody who's getting on this machine for the first time or as they're learning stem from not being in control at the catch position. When you lift the heel, if I'm in the machine and I lift my heel, it causes a host of problems like my seat to scoot closer to my butt, or it forces me to open early when I'm driving. It causes all of these problems, and therefore what we've learned is that if you can keep your heels down when you're learning the movement, you will learn how to press through your whole foot, and it will also help you learn what your right catch position is. Once you've learned that and that's locked in like solid steel, now you can add in a little bit of heel flash because you're doing it with intention, not as a byproduct of not knowing positions. So don't lift those heels when you're learning. As you're getting into this, keep that heel down, and with that heel down, try to get as much compression as possible. If you need to get deeper, don't do it by lifting the heels or splaying the knees out or rounding the back. You simply do it by trying to compress with good position. Number 3 is the push. We put push on everything. Push, don't pull. It's on our t-shirts. But what does that really mean? Well, there are a couple things that you need to know when it comes to pushing the machine away. First off, the application of pressure through your feet is a roll-on of pressure. What do I mean by that? Well, as you're taking your stroke, if you allow those heels to lift a little bit, and even if you don't, you want to initiate that press of the foot from the ball of the foot, rolling to midfoot, and then pressing through the entire foot. And that's what I mean by roll on. You're almost like rolling your foot down and into the pressure. Now that is how you initiate. You initiate through the ball of the foot, roll to midfoot, then press the remainder through the entire foot. Always making sure that at the backside, the release position or the end of the drive, you need full contact with your feet, because without driving through the heels, your posterior chain can't engage. And generally, if that's happening, you're ending up with this kind of a stroke where the heels never touch and you're never using the entire leg to drive force. So that is the roll-on that I'm talking about. Now the next piece on the push is that there is a need for both a vertical and a horizontal push. Imagine that this is at 45 degrees. It's actually closer to 42. But when I go to drive, if I'm connecting through the whole foot, it's almost as if the foot stretcher is trying to push me that way, not that way. What that means is that I should have an element of vertical drive and horizontal, and that's going to make the difference in allowing me to engage my whole leg, so that if I brace and I push through the foot properly, that connection point creates the accurate results I'm looking for on the drive. Next is the quick release. And why does that even matter? How is that even a part of the rowing discussion? Well, because this is a fitness tool. It's used for the purposes of workouts in CrossFit gyms, at Orange Theory, at F45, and for rowing teams around the world. Now, if there's ever a workout in which you need to transition from this machine to something else and be able to come back and not waste time in transition, then the quick release is the answer. And especially in workouts, you find that people waste a ton of time just getting in and out of the machine. And it's a very simple fix. Here's what you're going to do. Number one, you're going to take your hands, put them up. Hands up. Next, you're going to grab the foot stretcher. You're going to place your thumb on the buckle, and you're going to press the buckle out. Now this is where most people stop, and then they try to sneak out, and then one foot inevitably gets stuck. And when I go to get back in, there's not much space for me to get into the machine. So instead, what you're going to do is grabbing the foot stretcher, thumb on the buckle, press the buckle out. Here, you're going to essentially anchor that buckle in place, and you will extend your legs, pulling your toes to your face like you're doing a toe touch. And what that does is it loosens the straps a ton, and then you go toes up, heels out. That's the quick release. Now, when I come back to the machine ready for my next round, I can go feet in, no problem, grab my straps, tighten them down, and I'm away on my next piece. That quick release, however silly it may seem, if you practice that and get that down pat, you will never get out of the machine another way again, and you've saved yourself a ton of time with just your feet. And number 5 is feel. Now, why is feel so important? Well, A, you have a lot of tactile feedback that comes from your feet, and you may not be aware of that, but if you start spending time without your shoes on, you'll start to find that your feet develop this incredible feel for what's underneath you. But more importantly, the feet, when it comes to this machine, are so responsible for the way that we're learning, because we're applying pressure in different ways. And as we're learning this process, if you don't know what your feet are doing, you're not going to be able to know what the rest of your body is doing. And so, by gaining a feel, by spending time listening to your feet, and that may sound super hippie, but that's the truth, the more time you can listen to your feet on this machine and know whether or not you're on your toes and know whether or not you're placing your heels to push, it will have a profound impact on the way that you are approaching the stroke and how that stroke reacts to the different ways in which your feet are applying force to the machine or helping you apply force to the machine. So get working on your feet. What are you waiting for? This is like the easiest fix you can make. Just give some attention to this area that you've probably never thought about because you were looking at the whole big picture. And if we can give you this one small win, take it. I think you're gonna find it has big ramifications in the way that you're moving on this machine, and you're gonna enjoy that workout a lot more. So as always, guys, thanks so much for hanging out. I really appreciate it. If you love this, make sure that you subscribe and hit that little bell next to it so you get alerted when we come out with new videos. But other than that, thanks for hanging out. I love you all. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for tuning in. And as always, we'll see you on the other side. Later. Hey, thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed this and you're looking for more and you want workouts, continuous coaching from me and my other coaches in our private Facebook community, it's our monthly workout program. It's $39 a month. Just go over to darkhorserowing.com/athlete to sign up now. They are staging 75 feet from me right now. And they never shut these things. They're like 4 tractors. And they just, if one's not going, there's another. They don't take a rest.